And welcome to another bonus episode of Let's Play Battlefield 1942. We return to Operation Aberdeen. Now, I have to say I've kind of been thinking about what different possibilities I could do to make this map, this episode different from the previous Aberdeen episode, and here I've completely failed to get my own tank. At least I'm hitching a ride with somebody. But there's really no way to make this unique. I mean, every episode or round that you play on Operation Aberdeen is going to be more or less the same. Everyone's going to be in a tank, and both sides have it's a fairly symmetrical map, although the control points look a little bit different. Each side kind of has their set pattern. Both of the uncapturable, well, I should say that both of the main bases on this map are capturable, so that you can get some variety in how the map goes depending on whether or not one side manages to capture the other side's main base and whether they're able to hold on to it and so forth. But basically, whether I'm an engineer as I am here, or whether I'm a medic, or if I went in as an anti-tank even, it's going to be, you're in a tank. There's no planes, there's no naval forces of any kind. Now, often the winner of this map will be the side, I don't know how I got a kill there, the side that takes this one flag right here that you can only capture as an infantry, the city flag. All the other ones you can access by tank. Where's the... Okay, right here. It's this weird little capture radius right here in the center. Hopefully I'm not going to get shelled by any enemies while I'm sitting here waiting. Okay, there we go. It's just really awkward to get out of your tank and try to capture that base, so oftentimes, and now we've got ticket lead against the enemy, because we've got 4 out of the 7 flags. That was the M10 tank, got a little assist from a friend there. One of the things I do like about this map is you do often see some real tank coordination, simply because there are just so many tanks, and if you want to survive and really get an edge against people, you gotta get some friendly tanks around to help you out. He was sitting on the repair pad there, so it was really important to get that shot right into the back of his tank. And I'm not going to be able to capture this before they have their respawn wave, so I'm just going to kind of do the best I can and avoid getting zooked. Okay, that's a friendly tank, I believe, that's shooting at me for some reason. And that's a little... yeah. See, I don't really mind getting team killed that much. What I don't like is the fact that I've got to respawn all the way over here and then wait for my tank to respawn in. In fact, my tank wasn't completely destroyed either, so it's going to have to wait until it's blown up before it respawns in. It's unusual to see so many infantry just out and about in the desert. Normally people respawn and they'll stay fairly close to a control point where they know a tank's going to be coming back in. As you can see, this map is very expansive, and I'm only just now getting into range where I can kind of hit people with the engineer rifle. You really need a sniper rifle to get a good shot off at that range. But the engineer kit, of course, is useful on this map because you can get away with your tank and you can repair your tank. You can leave landmines or X-Packs on repair pads, and so, it makes a lot more difference. Normally, again, I kind of wish I had the sniper rifle here, but it's just so bizarre seeing all these infantry out in the middle of nowhere. Alright, here, the tank has finally respawned in. And as you can see, the flag count is held very steady over this period of time. Although the British did manage to take the city flag, so go figure. One potential downside to actually holding the city flag is that it's the only flag that doesn't have any tanks. So if people spawn in there, then they're not going to be bringing up the hardware. So you want to hold that flag, but you don't want people on your team to actually spawn in there. And it's just slightly more convenient to have the repair pad repair my tank while I'm safely inside, as opposed to finding a hiding place where I can get out and repair. Alright, I'm glad I went the long way around because it looks like a couple of tanks. You do have to be really careful. You have to sneak around on this map just as much as you would on an urban combat map, simply because if you get caught from behind, you're toast. You really want to catch people by surprise. And I'm firing right now into that little room on the upstairs is where the flag capture is, but that's not by any means the only place where you can spawn in on this flag. And I'm seeing a bizarre number of people spawning in there for some reason. I don't know why so many are in that particular building. They can spawn at all kinds of different buildings around here, so it's weird to have that many people spawning in at that flag, let alone that one particular place within that flag. And of course, by not moving around, I left myself very vulnerable to ambush from landmines or hostile tanks. But just seeing that many kills ripe for the taking, I had to stick around and take advantage of that. See right there, that's another building where they can spawn in. They can spawn in at the top of several different ones. Alright, now we've got a guy in there turning the flag neutral. Since we were getting ticket bleed anyway, I'd actually prefer if we had allowed them to hold on to that flag. That's one case in this game where it's to your advantage to let the enemy have something. As long as they held that flag for whatever reason. Maybe people thought they were spawning in closer to the action, or maybe they wanted to do some infantry stuff and didn't want to wait for a tank, but they really left themselves open to being killed with no real chance of escape, because this map is absolutely 100% all about the tanks. Tricky thing is if you don't quite, and I just ran somebody over out in the middle of nowhere, you kind of expect that on a busy road. I think at some point, if you're on terrain that's not obviously going to be traveled, you kind of have to let a tank have the right of way. I mean, you're not going to be penalized with the team kill if you run in front of someone's tank, but you would think that dying would be a good deterrent to that sort of thing. Alright, as long as I'm going to be heading toward the enemy's main base, I'm going to try to get lined up with some friendlies around. At least having other tanks to back you up, even if they miss every hit, at least the hostile tanks are going to have someone else to shoot at. There, I had to kind of reverse lead the target a little bit. Alright, that extra large explosion, if I'm not mistaken, is from the death gun. Yeah, it's definitely firing on me. Normally the death gun doesn't get much play in this game. That was kind of fun watching. It's possible to explode your tank and the hostile tank if you're really close up against each other. Yeah, the ticket bleed has been overwhelmingly against the British on this round. I have no idea what the kill-to-death ratio is on this. I assume we're probably in the lead by a good bit because of all those infantry we were killing at the city flag. But I think the ticket bleed is really what did them in. And of course, spawning in as infantry, you can't really capture flags as infantry if you go up against a flag that's got hostile tanks all around. I mean, as soon as they see the flag turns neutral, they're going to roll right up there and kill you. and he just barely missed, which gave me enough time to hit him in the back. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. See you next time.